Hello and welcome back to the Twin Moons YouTube channel. My name's Sean and today we'll be having a listen to a channeling recording that I carried out in the last week. In this channeling, what you'll be listening to are two entities that play a very, very important role in my life. They're a part of my light team. One of them is Olos, who's my primary guide and has also taken on the role of being my gatekeeper. And we'll go into these roles for the light team and what these mean to us while we're incarnate. But suffice to say, Olos was the first discarnate individual to ever make himself known to me, and that was through some automatic writing. Now I seldom do automatic writing unless it's something where spontaneously my light team want to get a message to me when I have a pencil in my hand. But in this recording you will also hear another one of my light team, that being Olon, name similar, for obvious reasons that you'll hear in the recording. The recording is really an introduction and provides you a little bit of insight into how channeling works and some interesting topics to discuss. So what we'll do is we'll go through and have a listen to the recording, and then I will pop back at the end to have some final statements before the end of the video. So I hope you enjoy this channeling from Olos and Olon. We are here. Greetings to all. Olos and Olon are here in joint configuration. Coming through at the moment is interesting. Wishing all love and light, all manifestations of same. Olos and Olon, of course, are not our true names. We have progressed beyond that which you can think of as a name. Even then we did not speak it. We are known by our vibration, by our frequency, by our colours, by our sounds. We're very similar, but uniquely different aspects of the one. This allows us to work together. Different parts of the same, what you would say is social memory complex. Hexatonal alignment. Preparation. We look forward to this communication. It's been both a long time and not a long time, because there is no time. Our brother on mission is the third pillar of the conduit. Olos and I represent the other two pillars. We're working with our brother in the other space. He knows where it is. Catalyst is his role. Bring about change. Wanderer is a good word for it. So yes, wanderer, seeker, believer, liver, learner, teacher. These are all different aspects our brother fulfills. Just now, this bubble of reality, this bubble of experiential entity awareness is realigning very well. Catalyst is coming, further catalyst for all, but it is okay, because that's why our brother is there, among others, among the family, to prepare the way, to bring about the understanding that's necessary, the learning, the experience, the combination of skills, capabilities, knowledge, motivations, technology, small amount of technology. For this is not really a technical issue. This is an energetic issue. The changes that are coming will in themselves be catalyst. Make use of this catalyst. Don't shy from it. Embrace it. Open it, learn from it. Experience it. Seek what you need from each moment. Live in the now. Get into the stream. We're all here. We're all helping. To focus on your plane of existence at the moment is extreme. As it should be. It's been such a long time coming. Other brothers and sisters are here. Or part of the social memory complex, yes, and the triangulated one is as well. Here's another member of our team. Another member of the family. Another brother and sister. Because the meaning is one and the same. Divine masculine and feminine has combined in a unique and balanced fashion. As is true for all entities, we all combine percentages, parts, divine masculine and feminine. It's very important that you understand this, that you embrace this. Just simply because you are in a masculine or a feminine body does not mean anything. Balance is everything. Only through balance can you be prepared to be able to deal with catalyst. Mindfulness, separation from event, from emotion, but living through understanding of emotion, because that's in human form, that's you have that amazing grasp of emotion. But don't let it control you. Don't control it. Just experience it. Be in the flow. Ride the wave, as our brother would like to think. And you'll be okay. Deal with the emotional body, the astral body and the etheric body. In combination, the three allow you to experience life and then mirror that in the physical. Anything that you don't process in these three bodies will manifest in the physical as its only avenue for exploration, the only way it can be brought to the focus of attention, as our brother learnt. But that wasn't simply a catalyst for learning, it was also for purification. Energies must be maintained. Greater focus on meditation. It's all right. These are messages for the brother as well.
The message is for everyone. We all do enter these periods. We focus on the physical, on the psychological, on the emotional, on the attainment of happiness. And there's nothing wrong with happiness. We all are and want to be happy. But it's important that we balance things. It's important that we can feel and we can connect in a feminine way, and then we can resolve and we can act in a pure way, in a masculine way. Bring this together in an overall cycle. That's what the yin and yang is all about. It is not separation, it is combination. Don't think of it as two, think of it as one. Different sides of the same coin. Because of course, there is no masculine or feminine. There's just different energetic aspects of the one that we are privileged to experience. Experiencing these aspects of the one through different catalysts, through different life forms, through different soul streams, provides us the opportunity to be able to enhance our understanding of them, so that when we reunite, when we converge, when we attain oneness, once again, in its truest and purest form, because we are one all the time, but when we attain oneness in its entirety, in its completeness, in its satisfaction, then we will bring that individual awareness of self. And so the one expands. The one has an ability to then manifest a new cycle. But this is so far in advance of where we are right now, because the Earth is just about right to enter the next phase. As our brother has grasped, 7 years. 7 years are the phases, approximately. We're in transitional phase right now. Phase of clearing, phase of completion. It is the end of one loop, start another. It is the 8th octave transitional point, the first note in the next octave. So really, it's not 8, it's 7. And so in your thinking, our brother has said 4 to 7 years. It's probably closer to the 7-year boundary, but it is so hard from our perspective to understand the nature of the linearity that you're experiencing. We focus on the bubbles of reality, and our brother will explain this. We focus on these bubbles and try to pick the appropriate stream, a loose approximation of a timeline, but a stream is a experiential stream. It's a consciousness and experiential stream, that the bubbles are electromagnetically attached to each other. They are energetically attached. They attract each other. And so as we move forward through what you think of as time, you are transitioning from one bubble to the next. These bubbles you can influence by the nature of your own charge, your own electromagnetic ability to interact with the bubble in which you are, and to be able to guide the bubble in which you wish to proceed to. Thinking about them as being bubbles of now. So you're always in the now, but there is a multitude of different possibilities, streams, directions. These bubbles are not in planes, they are not in sheets. They are in a three-dimensional aspect is the best we can portray it for you. These are, you can go up, you can go down, you can go left, you can go right, you can go forward, you can go back. And so, from our perspective, we're always trying to understand and be able to provide you guidance about what the so-called future may look like from our point of view. We can see it. We just have to enter that bubble. We just have to look at it from our side, from our perspective. We don't interact with it, but we can view it like you would view yourself through a mirror. We can see aspects of our own fractal natures in those bubbles. We can see, to a very great extent, what the likely outcomes and probabilities are within those bubbles. However, those bubbles may have been in front of the current bubble, as you understand it, behind, above, below, or either side. And so we're always playing a game of probability. So we're shooting an arrow from a great distance and trying to make sure that we hit the right target. But that's all right, because we have an ability through situations like these, communication opportunities, to be able to provide you a little bit of guidance, a little bit of a nudge. It's not a violation of free will. The number one law, there are no laws, but the distortion, yes. The law of one point of view, the first distortion is the best way to think of this. We are helping you to be fully armed with all of the various options to make the best free will judgments you can. And so we are in absolute alignment. We won't tell you what the future is, but we can tell you how to get there in whichever direction there is. Well, we can tell our brother, in all probability, what the next step may look like if our brother chooses to travel down that path. But as he is already in a life that's been very well programmed by himself and our greater, higher aspects, as guides, as caretakers, as experiential support, as we're all moving towards the totality, none of who are speaking, none of us are there, but we're on our way. We're happy to experience what our brother's experiencing. Each of us incarnate when time's right. One of the two that are talking right now are actually incarnated as you would understand it, even though the garb is very unlike the human garb that you're wearing. But it is manted. Yes, manted experiential shell. And so this is the entity that you would know as Olon. And as you notice, our voice changes, our timbre, our tempo, the pace of our speech changes as we vibrationally hand the ball from one to the other. You'll notice that one of us speaks far faster than the other. I have the better sense of humour, I think. But that is all right, because we are all one. Yes, and we just wish to assist, to guide where we may. We look forward to the experience that will be unfolding a little later in your understanding. We are thankful for the opportunity to be of service. Through so we can progress ourselves as we help you to progress. We can provide you some guidance to help penetrate the veil for your own understanding. Plant the seeds as our brother has conceptualized the seed in stone with the crack in it. When watered, that seed will germinate. Roots will extend down in the crack. The body of the second density life form that you know as a tree will expand. It is so strong that it will interface. It interfaces with its brother, the stone, because remember, even though first and second density life forms, they are all one. Interfaces with such and prepares the stone for what is about to happen, or the tree is dislodged because it shouldn't happen. But we digress. Yes, it's by planting seeds, allowing them to germinate, allowing the shell of ego to assume its rightful place, which it need not be in the driver's seat. Happy for it to exist because it is an accretion of experience, and it has its role, particularly when your core consciousness is needed elsewhere. It has its role. So with that, we look forward to greeting each of you later in the now. Remember which bubble it is, we'll be there. In the love and light of the Supreme Creator, we bid you farewell.
Well, I hope you found that useful. Obviously, there's a lot to unpack there, and you may want to listen to it a few times. Some very interesting key topics about living in the now and what my brothers from the other side of the veil, how they view that. There's a key law of one aspect here which might be useful. The difference between space-time and time-space. Here in 3D world, we live in a 3 dimensions of space, 1 dimension of time aspect, and so we view time as linear because it's only 1 dimensional from our ability to comprehend it. You can imagine that, and as the Ra social memory complex was pointing out in the Law of One, on the other side of the veil there is no time. But what does that mean? Well, it means at the very least that when you think of it as being not space-time but time-space, then you can conceptualize that there's 3 dimensions of time and 1 dimension of space. We exist on the other side of the veil, but where is less important than the variety of whens, which are all now. And so you can think of all the nows as being these bubbles, as Olon pointed out, these bubbles of experiential now. And we can choose which bubble we want to look at, we can choose which bubble we want to move to, or we can choose which bubble represents the time frame that we want to incarnate into. And then in that sense, we're moving into a bubble where it's 3 dimensions of space rather than 3 dimensions of time. Very interesting concept, and one that I'm sure will be picked up in other communications. The other point that was very strongly made was around catalyst. And I myself experienced a catalyst, an opportunity for learning, an opportunity for growth, which we can often see as very negative. Now, these are not negative or positive in polarity at all. It's how we interpret them and how we use these experiences and how we allow them to shape us that we can see as negative or positive. My personal catalyst recently felt was one where a skin cancer appeared, seemingly overnight and with no relevant background, i.e. there was no blemish, no mark 2 weeks before this skin cancer suddenly appeared. Over the next month, I took action, prompted by my partner, largely, and dealt with that. And happy to say that's now been removed and skin grafts been put in place, and I'm sure you can see where that was. But this was an opportunity for me to learn. It was not singularly put there for me to experience a sudden decline in health. And how I dealt with that catalyst, I think, was just as important as having dealt with it. The journey was just as important as the destination, and so I've taken a great amount of learning out of that. And the first learning is to not to hold on to the emotional state, to let it go. That's doubly true for our relationships with everyone else. Try not to be triggered and to maintain balance. I can't tell you how many times my light team's been pushing me on balance, and they made a point of raising that several times in the communication. If you have questions, please leave me comments or go to my website, twinmoons.net. The URL for that website will be in the details with the video on YouTube. And please, you can leave me a message via links off that site, and I'd be happy to get back in touch with you. Obviously, moving forward, I'm looking to bring more channeled messages through from Olos Olon and the team, and I look forward to sharing those with you. So, with that, I hope you have a great day, and I will talk to you all soon.